This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away.
Hi and welcome to AFTV News Daily.
We have not got this stance right.
But let's sort this out.
This is a bit of an unusual news show. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad that we made it here. There's a lot of traffic, rain.
A lot of traffic, yeah.
It was a madness getting in today, guys. Thank you for bearing with us. I know we're just a bit over time. We're normally here at 10, but we are here. I think someone's got a comment here. W says, I think it's 10:15 evening. It was not. That was my mistake. It's 10:15 today. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're watching from. A lot of topics to get through today. We're going to do a lot of conversation as well. Go through a lot of conversation and get your guys' opinions on certain things. James rang me today with all the topics, what's going on in the football world and at Arsenal. So we're going to discuss it today. So I can see here, Murray Newland says, what did Ryan say?
Let me just get it all up so you know for sure. But basically, I'll get the actual quotes up. And essentially, Matt Ryan, I think in an interview, essentially was talking about the move to Arsenal, and he was talking about what happened with sort of Brighton. And he basically said that it was like a next step for him to sort of, progress from Brighton. And he's since wanted to say that, he's not trying to disrespect the club. He's not trying to, that Brighton holds a dear place in his heart. But he just had to apologize for the comments. I'm just trying to find them now, guys. We're really sorry. It's been a really rush morning. There's all sorts going on. We've got big
it's a big day. Yeah, big day.
It's a big day today. A lot going on.
That's why we're here today.
Yes, exactly. That's why we're doing this from here and not from home.
And whilst James does look at this, the Matt Ryan comments whilst he gets them up, I just want to say to you guys that basically he was saying that Brighton, he was always looking to go to basically a bigger club. It kind of, in a way, saying that Brighton was kind of a stepping stone for him to reach the club that I believe is what he wants to be. I think that's what the comment was, and he apologised to his the Brighton fans for that. But I just want to let everyone know in the comments, this is and people watching, this isn't uncommon. Like, players that are at teams, don't use them as a stepping stone. They're thankful for what they do at the club, but they look to make bigger moves. I can give you straight an example with Wilfred Zaha recently on the Judy podcast. Big up them. He said that my career is not finishing here. I want to go to the next level. Yes, I've been a great serviceman to Palace and I love them and dearly adore them. But he says this is not where his journey ends. So that's not uncommon in football culture. They look for bigger moves. But right, James, I believe you got a comment.
Yes, after a frantic panic, because I was looking for this. I was thinking, have I made this up? I swear I read this. Right. I can give you exactly what's happened. So this is an article from Football London by Josh Challies, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Arsenal goalkeeper Matt Ryan issues apology to Brighton fans after transfer comment. So important to obviously credit the source. And this will happen in an interview with Optus Sports. He said, I had in my mind a little bit of a plan, but I wanted to stay a couple seasons at Brighton and try and do well and hopefully be bought by a bigger club and keep progressing in my career. Perhaps it didn't work out in the way playing 2-3 seasons, then being bought for a fee as number one and going and playing. But one way or another, I've obviously ended up in a massive step up from Brighton and to another level of football. So you can see why Brighton fans wouldn't take to that comment particularly well.
I get it, but it's the truth. As harsh, Brighton fans may come at me, but it's the truth. You're Arsenal. They're a bigger club. They're a bigger club. That's all that needs to be said. What he's saying is the truth. I know that might not sit well with Brighton fans, but you can't get angry at a player for being honest and truthful. I don't know, guys, your comments, your thoughts, do let us know. I'm going to take a super chat here from Costa Chow. Hi, Cecil and James. Good morning. Hello. First, respect to Robbie for addressing the situation because he came on my Doncaster channel and respect him for that. Oh wow, yeah. Sorry, I was in his live yesterday. Robbie's. I was moderating and I kind of knew what the angle of what he was going to go with that night. If you guys haven't checked it out, he addresses I don't know the guy's name. I don't know how to say it. Fogden, yeah. Okay. Oh, well, okay. So he addressed the situation last night. If you guys haven't seen, I'm sure you'll be able to find out. And he says, Robbie, I've worked with him now for many months. Same with James. The guy works extremely hard. I know it's not really my place to say. I know Robbie has spoken about it, but I just want to say he's non-stop and he is so giving, caring. He has the biggest heart. He is a mentor of mine. He's someone I look up to, and he's given us the opportunity to be on his channels, and we are very thankful. That is it. He's extremely busy. He does stuff for other channels, smaller channels. Smaller channels, does charity work, does so much. So the disrespect that Fogden gave, in my opinion, I don't know the guy. I'm not going to speak on him too much, but it was not right. And Robbie did address it, and what he said was perfect, in my opinion. But big up Costa Chow as well. I'm glad he came on your channel, and that just goes to show there the type of person Robbie is. Yeah.
No, all addressed. And then talking of addressing things, back on this Matt Ryan thing. So basically, he did respond to this thing. Because obviously it wasn't taken too well. This was his comment. So I believe, according to Football London, Talk Seagulls, which I think is a page, posted a snippet of the interview on Instagram page, and Ryan commented below saying, "Hey mate, it's been brought to my attention that there's been a few people who've been upset/disappointed with some comments I've made in this interview, and I want to apologise to anyone who has felt I've been disrespectful towards the club. This was not and never will be my intention. I recognise how people could have interpreted that through those comments, and moving forward, I'll be sure to pay extra attention as to how I refer to the club to not have the same outcome. The club will always have a special place in my heart, as I've said, and I've got nothing but fond memories and wish all the best to you all for the remainder of the season, and I'll always continue to support the club because of our experiences together." Right, let me ask you a question. You played the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it so bad what you said?
No.
Do you not think?
But I don't think it is, but I just feel like nowadays you can't do anything without getting criticised, especially as a footballer. The target on your back as a footballer is massive. We could talk about Bellerin and him starting fashion lines and stuff, and people disgracing.
Cecil's looking at Laurie over here.
Laurie's over here. He put his finger up to me. But I just think whatever you do as a footballer, it's going to be scrutinised in some sort of way.
No, okay.
In my opinion. Go on.
But I'm going to challenge you on that because look at us having a bit of healthy debate.
Go on.
Because Bellerin is just doing what he does outside of football, whereas what Ryan's talking about here. By the way, I really like Ryan. We had a good debut. What he's talking about is very football related. Like that's within his role as a professional footballer. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the thing with footballers is you want honesty. You do want honesty, and people always say that footballers are too media trained these days. Did you ever go through media training?
Yeah.
Right.
Not only as a youth team player, yes. Not only one session though. I mean, they just tell you how to kind of they take you through like how to conduct yourself, how to say things, how to what if this question gets asked, how do you answer it? And
And would you say that players are too media trained? Because that's the perception from the outside at times.
Not that they're too media trained, because it's down to the player how much you take on and how truthful you be at the end of the day. Yes, you get trained and you get taught, but it's up to you as a player of how much truth you want to say, how you want to give your comments. So I wouldn't say they're too media trained. Yes, there's a lot more training nowadays, and they're very scrutinized, like the racial stuff. They want you to make sure they give you the lessons. It's just up to you whether you decide what angle you take when you're being interviewed or where you're being spoken about. I know some players have PR people for their social media. I know that as a fact as well. So but then some people own, like some footballers they have their own social media and they do whatever they want on it. So I don't know. I don't really know. It's
I guess what I'm trying to say is, when a player does speak out openly and they just say the truth, and it's nothing surprising, right? Should they be getting such a tough time for it? I mean,
no.
What Matt Ryan has said is probably absolutely true, which is that, love Brighton.
Yeah.
But it was a part of my progression to where I want to be in my career.
Yeah.
Everyone aspires to be at a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, Champions League, football,
100%.
whatever. So I don't really know.
What's wrong with it, James? Like you, as a player, you can't set your standards when you can't set your standards low. You can't. As a player, you want to be saying, I want to be in the World Cup. I want to be, like you said, Champions League. I want to be in the top 4 team or Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. Like that is, as a player, you have goals. Like everyone speaks about it. Like you can't. Like I said, Wilfred Zaha said it in a podcast. Like these Palaces meant number one man, but he's saying like, I want to go higher. There's again, I was watching Ravel Morrison's thing of 5 and Rio Ferdinand this morning. He has ambitions to be higher than where he's playing now. Like every footballer has that. Being honest about where you want to be in your career is you can't scrutinize that. And that's looking at football. If you're looking at things away from football, there's always going to be people criticizing you. Rashford, what he's done for the UK in the free school meals, I know it's away from football, but he still gets scrutinized for it. When he's not playing well, fans are like, should be focusing more on his football. Like, and he's speaking out.
Passionate about.
I really am. Because I work with footballers, like, and I work with footballers, and I tell them like, you have to do more. You can't just focus on being a footballer. It's a toxic mindset.
Yeah.
You put more pressure on yourself. I know in football clubs and academies they say, look at Ronaldo. He's a 24/7 footballer all the time. That is bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. He does charity work. He does family stuff. He has other businesses. Like he doesn't just focus himself always on football. Yes, he takes his training serious, but he does stuff away from football. Like I know we're kind of going off topic here with the Matt Ryan comment, but fans,
not really.
I just think fans need to like. I've seen it and I've been involved in it as a footballer. Like they have their opinions and I get that, but you can't scrutinize a player for wanting to do better in his career. Like football's not a long-lasting career. He has to make the most money and have the best career he can for his future self, for his future family. Matt Ryan, I don't think you're wrong in what you said. The Brighton fans need to give you a bit of a break. I know.
Go on. But I want to play a bit of devil's advocate here because I agree with everything you just said. However, does he need to say it? Like it's implied, isn't it?
When was it? Sorry, I don't know when was it said. What was it said in an
interview with what was it here?
You get that while quickly just do the super chat. Costa Chow again. Also, I think it was Connor did a super chat about should we make Matt Ryan a permanent deal?
Yeah, I think so.
I think what we've seen of him, I know it's only been one game for me. If I'm completely honest, it's been great. I think that doesn't credit him a permanent deal, but if he consistently plays well in the chance he gets, I don't see why not. We need a backup goalkeeper, 100%. Quickly before you to say, Costa Chow says, hi guys, first respect to Robbie for clearing the air because he came on much. Oh, you sent this already and I've spread out twice, but that is fine. Donny, so fair play to him. Second, why can't abuse stop?
But that might be going to the Xhaka thing, so we'll go on to that. Just to let you know, it was an interview with Opta Sport. That was published on YouTube on February the 12th. So that was only 4 days ago or so. And yeah, he kind of indirect. We apologize, but via a comment on an Instagram post, it wasn't like a big old like statement or anything, which is fine. I mean, why make it deeper than that? So, look, I get Matt Ryan is. I could tell from his interview. Do you remember when he signed for us? He did his interview. I really liked him. I felt he came across as he's happy quite outspoken, quite blunt, but in a good way. Like says what he's thinking, says what he feels, and he probably just did that. He probably said, "Look, this is where I am in my career. This is what Brighton was. I hold it dear to my heart, but this is what was next." And I just wonder. I guess I just wonder, just to back the Brighton fans here. I just wonder whether. Do you know what I don't like doing? I don't like speaking on behalf of other fan bases. I hate when people say Arsenal fans should be grateful or Arsenal fans should be this. Or just look, we know about the club more. So Brighton fans, and if there are any watching this, we'll probably be thinking, just shut up. You don't understand how that
of course
feels for us, and I get that. But at the same time, what he said, I think everyone kind of knows is implied anyway. But did he need to say it? He could have said, I didn't know what was coming after Brighton. I think there's maybe other ways, but whatever. It is what it is.
I hear what you're saying. It's across all fan bases, though. I just think if a player says that, you shouldn't be angry at them wanting to get better in their career and go and hit the heights. I was going to ask you something as well. In his first interview, Matt Ryan for Arsenal, when he came here, you could see he was happy to be at Arsenal. Now, how much you've said this so often, I want players playing for us to actually want to be at Arsenal, that it means something for them to be here. That's why you look at players at a lower league level, or the Norwich, like Buendia, you wanted him here because he'd appreciate being at Arsenal. Nowadays, we're getting these big, shiny toys, superstars that think, not that they think they're bigger than the club, but they think they have a right to play and be in front of or be starting and whatnot, and it can sometimes be to their detriment. So what Matt Ryan did there, he's being honest, and I want that from our players. You should wear the top with pride and feel happy to be and grateful to be on the same playing for Arsenal. Like that's how I remember Arsenal is the great. We still are, but the great club, the Invincibles and all that. Like it was an honor to be playing for Arsenal. So I
agree. He gives that off, I think. Absolutely. And if you can have a second keeper, a number two can step in, that's a very good option to have. Premier League proven, loves the club. Boom. And fair play to Arsenal getting done. And to answer that question earlier, you can make it permanent. Yes, do it.
Yeah, make it permanent. Well, I'm going off make it permanent because I like Matt Ryan of what I've seen. I need to see more of him.
Well, I think he's a good keeper as well.
Yeah. So CK Deals 05 says, Brighton fan here. Oh, mad, this is a big channel. Big up AFTV. Big up the guys that are not from here. Sorry, I know. I get excited, bro. You always forget, like
the 1.3 million subs was a clue.
Yeah. Brighton fan here. Big up you. He is such a nice guy. So surprised to hear his comments. I respect. Honestly, he just worded the wrong kind of way, in my opinion. I think
that is the perfect way to feel about those comments. That is the perfect way. Big up CK Deals 05. That is the perfect way to sum it up. Nice guy, surprised with the comments. I appreciate honesty, but he didn't really word it right. Fine, case closed.
Darren Wolford, guys, I meant to work all day, but end up stopping watching the show. I ended up stopping to watch the show. Wicked, keep it up, lads. Guys, big up. And everyone in the comments being sending love and stuff. Appreciate it always. I'm reading them all. I always see them. That's how it goes. I got one more comment before. I think you want to move on to. Well, you don't want to move. Well, you're the Xhaka stuff. Costa Chow again. Big up with the super chat. Appreciate that, man. 3 times now already this morning. Yeah. Sorry, I just came back because I thought you missed it before. Lol. No, I've trust me. I see it all. I got you. Robbie has taught me so much about presenting from that interview. Big up AFTV. Robbie is the Don. There's the reason why he's called the Don. The guy is the Don. He's, do you know what I mean? We can't say anything else.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. I enjoyed yesterday on the show when you were talking about leaving a legacy, and I was thinking, that's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you insight, like I was at his 1 million subscriber party at YouTube, and it was not. It was not. Yeah, it was not about him.
Oh, wow.
Like he did a speech. It was only, I was with AFTV FC. That's why it was at the time. Okay. But he did a speech at the event, and he didn't mention anything about him really. Nothing about like this is all me. And he literally said most of the things he was saying. I've put it on my Instagram. Like he wanted more fan channels, and he wants there to be a bigger community within the fan channel culture and how it's changing. And he's happy to lead the way of that, but he wants clubs to have fan channels so we can do more content. And it's the way the world's going. And I was just like, you're just too good. Big up, Robbie. That is terrible. That's a terrible say, but that's all I can say. He's great. He's a great guy.
I think Cecil really likes Robbie.
I do.
Right.
Sorry, we're going to move on. AVX Lance, I guess, but with an X. Just hopped in. What did Matt Ryan say? Oh,
go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's going to finish after. It's
the best way to put it.
Strip Bear says the mighty Chelsea fourth. Remember that Arsenal are in what position? What colours? I seen him trolling at the moment. He was like, "Oh, you're 10th. Discuss 10th." Strip Bear, I see you're a regular. James, you want to say anything?
Season's not over.
Chelsea. All right, cool. Xhaka.
Right, so an article that broke on Sky Sports this morning. Let me just read this out. Arsenal season ticket holders racially abused midfielder Granit Xhaka on Twitter, and investigation has claimed. Go check it out if you want all the details as to what's happened. It's on Sky Sports. Oh, sorry, we're just making a slight change to our setup. Brilliant. Arsenal have told Sky Sports News that they will take the strongest possible action against any abuse that is linked directly to their season ticket or membership database. The study has also revealed homophobic abuse towards Arsenal's Hector Bellerin. Analysts found 52 account users involved with online hate against Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger, identified as season ticket holder of rival clubs. Right, I'm not going to read it all out because this is Sky Sports' work in their article. Go check it out. It's written by Brian Swanson, their chief reporter. We all know Brian. So I'm not going to delve into the details about sort of what happened in this investigation and stuff. I want to make this more of a rounded discussion about, Cecil, why we keep seeing this, why Arteta's had to speak out about it, why Anthony Martial's been facing a lot of it. I think it was it Mason Greenwood as well?
Mm-hmm. Sterling, everyone.
Yeah,
not everyone, but
it's been going on for far too long, and now we're hearing weekly. Mm-hmm. You know, it's despicable whenever it happens, but now it's picking up pace. It seems we're hearing about this weekly. What I know this is a
it's
horribly huge question, but what is the answer? What is the first thing we can do
wicked
to massively combat this online
sorry
abuse we're seeing?
Online abuse or racism, which one? I hate talking about. I can talk about it openly, but it grinds my absolute gears. When it comes to racism, Daniel Kaluuya said this recently in an interview. Amazing what he said. He said, say if I'm in a house, I'm asleep, my house gets robbed, right? And then the police come and you tell them my house is being robbed, blah, blah. I need it investigated. Then you get arrested. You get put in a cell, and then you get released, you get interrogated, and they say, why did your things get robbed? So what I'm trying to say here is, why do things get robbed? So you're asking me, but I was asleep. What do you mean? And this is the same with racism, right? I am black, right? I'm a black man, and like when you ask me, how do we stop it? I don't know. I'm not racist. You ask them.
That's a really good analogy.
Like,
saying, yeah.
I'm not racist. I don't know. I don't know how people that are racist, how they live. I don't understand why they're doing it. It's not me. It's them. Why should I have the answers? But that is one thing when it comes to racism. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I do a lot of talks and we speak about it. And I've worked with Troy Townsend, Kick It Out, and I've worked with footballers and we talk about racism in football. And if I'm honest, my opinions are probably very left. Like this taking a knee thing to me is I don't agree with it. I really don't. If I'm honest, I really don't. I know a lot of people do. I think Troy Townsend Kick Out team, they say continue it for good, but it's not doing anything in my opinion. It's not. There's more things you could do than just doing a knee for a second and standing up and playing. It's just bringing light to it. And then my nephew the other day he was like, why are they doing that? And I was like, it's to stop racism, and it's just bringing more of a light to it, and it makes me have more difficult conversations with my family and the youngsters that I work with, and I think it's a tough topic when it comes to racism. I know Xhaka is probably feeling a different side of racism than what obviously being black is felt, but it's all the same. It's negative. I think the world right now as well with coronavirus and how down everyone is and how people are behind their computers, they feel very comfortable and safe. There's nothing going on in the world. There's a lot of negativity around right now. Like people aren't in work, and I understand that, and things are tough. I get it. So you have a lot of hatred and an emotion built up inside you, but it's not right to reflect on other people, sit behind your keyboard, say things. Again, that goes back to the situation with Robbie and Fogarden. It's nothing to do with racism, but like you feel comfortable behind a screen. But when it comes to face, like people that I've met that are racist, or people that may say things behind my back, when it comes face to face, they don't have the energy. There's that. The implications and the consequences for it are not strong enough, but what's the world we live in? That is it. That's where I'm going to leave it at. Like, it's not going to, in my opinion, it's not going to change. It's going to be spoken about, which is great. It's bringing light to it. Is it going to change? No, it's embedded. And I could speak about it for a long time, but this is not what the show is about today. But that is it.
It's sad that you feel that.
It is. It's painful, and I'm a positive person. I'm trying to grin through it and just be like, it's cool. I'm going to be honest. When I went as a footballer, I didn't experience direct racism. There was racial incidents, but I didn't receive direct racism. So I don't know. It must be tough for players. The game right now is awful. It's not even just the racism. The death threats to the referees. It's just there's negativity. I don't know if it's not that it sells, but it's just like the way the world is right now, and I feel it. I really do. It's just being spread. And I'm trying to be the good vibes, positivity guy and all that. Sorry if I missed anyone's super chats and comments.
There's one thing that they can do to start. And I know that there was a statement from Facebook saying that Instagram was going to start putting protocols in place to try and prevent online abuse better. But the idea that I still see no flaws in is why can't they just say to get a social media account? Well, actually, everyone gets logged out. Every single account is worldwide logged out. To log back in, you have to register some sort of ID, a license, whatever it is, a passport, something, right? So that if you want to be anonymous and you want your at to be AFC, I'm really fun, lol. Right?
Yeah.
You want that to be your at. Terrible at. Please don't use that. Then fine. And if you want your picture to be Santi Cazorla, fine. But there's got to be someone that we can put responsibility on for that account. But there isn't.
There isn't.
So people can have an online personality.
Whoa. Sorry to cut you. That's happened. The Ian Wright situation. The kid got found out who it was racist to him. That happened. The consequences for it, the implications that got put in place were a slap on the wrist. So even don't get me wrong, you're right though. It needs to be that should happen with social media. It's not going to happen because it's just not. But even when they do get found out and you find out who it is, racism is always going to be here. It sounds harsh. It's in the pillars of society. Whether it's out right in your face in front of you, or if it's behind closed doors and it's secondary, and you know what I mean. It's always going to be there to get on. It's generations that need to be undone of racism.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen.
These social media accounts can do more.
Yes, agreed.
100 million%. They
agreed.
can do so much more.
Agreed.
And players shouldn't be scared to go onto their social accounts, right, and integrate with fans and integrate with people, because they don't know what they're going to get. I mean, I remember I find people calling me boring. I'll be like, oh, that's a shame,
bro. Like just so you guys know, like we've been here for a few months now, and thank you everyone supporting. But sometimes you get negative comments, and I thought because I mentor people, young players, and I thought I was strong minded, it would never get to me. But trust me, I see you guys' comments all the time, and I see you guys, and it can affect you, but that's how it is. I know I think it was on BT it was on Sky News, and they said, should black players come off social media? I was like, what the hell? Where are we going? Like, what is that about? Like, and because they say, like, if you put yourself in the public eye, this is what you have to, it comes with it. And that I do understand. Yeah. But why should it? Why should it? Is this, were you going to pop this up?
Well, I was just going through some of the comments, and, you know, people saying, why do people, you wouldn't tolerate abuse in any other line of work. Why do we tolerate it online? You know, and it's good points. You know,
it's a good point. It's a good point. This is a very deep morning live, but hopefully the meeting that we're gonna have is not gonna be so deep, because my heart's hurting. But
a long day.
Start of a long day. But no, that is true. Social media. Why? It's because it's just so accessible to any people at any age. They can hide behind the computers. I don't get it. I was gonna say I get it, but I don't. I really don't. But it's just
Twitter. I just saw a comment saying Twitter is a dark place. Yeah, it really
is, and it really is. Hence the reason you won't see me on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I am on Twitter, but you won't see me ever really doing too much on there.
Instagram's not much better, man.
It's not. You're right, but I suppose we got banned off Twitter when I was a player. That's why, as a club, with all the players had to come off it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
That's why I never had it. Players taking photos in the tracksuits.
Wait, Twitter or Instagram?
Twitter.
Wow.
That's why, like, I've never really been a fan of it at all. I never really use it. Is a start place. And there was a time where we had tracksuits. It was photo day. We were doing I wasn't doing gang signs. Players one of my youth players that was at Arsenal as a kid, they were doing gang signs in the change rooms, swearing in their tracksuits, but they were happy to be signed. So they thought it was cool. It was a cool picture. That uploaded on Twitter. Yeah, it went straight to the club, and boy, the meeting was not okay. Players were getting accused, got threatened to be released. But yeah,
just to round off on that, guys, do go check out the story at Sky Sports. The headline is Granit Xhaka, Arsenal season ticket holders racially abused midfielder online, according to study by Brian Swanson. It's on Sky. It came out just before 9 a.m. this morning. It's been updated since then. But yes, go check it out, because it is really important to read about these things, know what's happening in the club. And also, it wasn't just Granit Xhaka, as we read before. Hector Bellerin also suffered, I think they said, homophobic abuse. You know, any sort of just. Firstly, can I just say we stand by those players massively. You know, we don't condone any sort of abuse whatsoever. Be critical. You know, have your opinions. That's fine. That's fine. Granit Xhaka said in an interview very recently. I forgot the paper. I'm really sorry, but he said, you know, I'll take criticism. That's fine. But when you cross Arteta's had to say it, and 10 years ago, I don't really remember Wenger speaking about it that much, or other players. And I think I'm glad they're speaking out about it, because I think we're seeing it more and more now. And we need to just do we need to do more to look after our players now.
Definitely.
We need to. They bring us, sometimes they're part of the bad times. They bring us the good times as well. And they're human. We've got to look after them. So.
Definitely. Yash, this is a great comment. Thank you for your comment. That's very true. Now, quickly before we end up, before we wrap up, just quickly on this. So what James said there, perfect. Be critical. Just don't be personal. That is kind of the message I want to kind of leave. I only say this because I know I have a close person to the footballers at Arsenal, our hero Aubameyang. I know someone very close to him, and he reads comments. Let me tell you that now. And he reads comments. Not just him. There's other players. I know many other players that do it, but that just because we're on AFTV, and just so you know, he reads. They do look at stuff, so it can affect them. Don't be personal. You can be critical, like. In the rush of the moment, I understand. We sit here and do watch-alongs. You can see us get angry, but then I never get too angry. Nor does James. We have to analyze it, and we have to be respectful, and we do critical. We just say this is what you could have done better. Yeah. Try and be that sort of fan, but I can't say you have to be a fan, to be fair. But that's what I want to just say before we leave. I think that is
just a quick one.
We keep saying that. Oh, David Luiz.
Yeah.
Quick one.
Just a quick one on David Luiz. So we've not really had a chance to speak about this, and we won't go too much because it's been kind of dropped into other lives and stuff. But David Luiz might be offered a new contract. I saw a suggestion that he might perhaps benefit, or the club might benefit from him getting more of a player coach role. Something you'd be interested in? Just a quick one. I mean, do you think he could be a coach one day?
Yep. So before a coach, that
he's definitely a leader.
Yeah. So
I definitely think he's a leader, and he's got those qualities.
Yeah, a coach a bit different, but being in the dressing room, as I've said this many times, I think he deserves a year contract, an extension. Just even if he's not a main starter for Arsenal at centre back, I think him in the dressing room has been spoken about loads from the younger players. He's very respected. When he speaks, people listen. And he's a leader. You see it on the pitch. So I think having him in the dressing room, I think Arteta will also appreciate that as well. I think they should give him another contract. Being a coach, I don't know that yet. I don't know that yet.
I've got to be honest. I've got nothing to suggest. No reason to think he would be a very good coach. But I like the idea of that being the capacity in which we keep him in the club. You know, look, your playing time's going to diminish, but we're going to be nurturing you through your coaching. You're going to have coaching roles within the team, and maybe the start of the next part of his career, maybe. I don't know. So, but that's right. That. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments. Like I said, we read them. So do the players. We all see them. Big up.
It's been a heavy show this morning.
It's been a heavy morning show. I'm hoping
that's what's happening. We've got to address it, whether it's in the morning, the evening, it's over, whatever. We have to, and glad we did.
We did. Perfect. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again very soon. You know how it goes. Morning show. We'll see you again very soon. Peace.
This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls, and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away.